Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome back to the action that's coming to you from beautiful Copenhagen. The Danish Darts Open, all brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. As we welcome the millions of viewers joining us around the world, it's time now to meet the players. From England, he is without a doubt the fastest player in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Rapid Ricky Evans! And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Northern Ireland, the winner of the World Grand Prix, it's time to meet Super Chain Gurney!
Well, it has been a breathtaking evening here at the Danish Darts Open. Superb match between Mervyn King and Max Hopp to start the night. The King coming back to win 6-5, having been 5-3 down, and that's exactly what Rob Cross has just done against Steve Beaton, who teased us all with a prospect of knocking out the world champion, but Cross got the job done in the end. Couldn't quite supersede what we'd seen in the game before, where Michael Smith, despite being on 9 darters in each of the last 2 legs, ended up losing the match to Adrian Lewis. Follow what's gone before, boys. The World Grand Prix champion Daryl Gurney, the fastest thrower in the world Ricky Evans. It's got all the ingredients, Rob Malarkey, who rejoins me in the commentary box for this one.
Yes, it certainly has, but as you say, this has a lot to live up to, given what has preceded it so far this evening. It has been a terrific night's entertainment here in Denmark, and Daryl Gurney, well, we've said it time and time again, very much in keeping with what we were saying about Joe Cullen, of course, earlier today, may well feel he is a player who is perhaps overdue a European Tour title. It could well come this weekend.
Or a title of any kind, Rob, because, well, what happened last weekend, he's now the highest ranked player without one in 2018. Peter Wright and Rob Cross putting it right last weekend on the Players' Championship circuit.
And that, in turn, may just ramp things up a little bit as far as Daryl Gurney is concerned. But he has gone close, of course. Made the final of the Dutch Masters in Venray at the start of 2016. 85. He's made 2 semi-finals this year on the European Tour, as well as a quarter-final.
140.
But he's up against a very, very tricky opponent in Ricky Evans, who overcame Dennis Nielsen in his opener yesterday by 6 legs to 4.
Yeah, it was another comeback win, wasn't it? 4-0 down in that one, Ricky Evans.
140.
That's about 140. He's taking it to Daryl Gurney in leg one. Gurney having won the bull, and Rob Cross mentioned in his post-match interview the importance of winning that bullseye, because at 5-3 down he knew he still needed just that one break.
Well, we last saw Evans on the Euro Tour in Zwolle prior to this weekend, where he fell at the first hurdle against Ratajski, but since then he's produced some really good results. He made the quarterfinals in 3 of the last 4 Players' Championship events, during which time he has claimed wins over Gary Anderson, Dave Chisnell, and I'll also throw in the name of Darren Webster as well, because Darren Webster this year has had a good time of it of late, and I think that was a notable win for Ricky Evans in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I'd second that. Darren Webster, who beat Cristo Reyes despite him averaging astronomical stuff in the early part of that one. Double 6 for an early break.
On the first leg, Ricky Evans.
He's a top 16 player these days, Darren Webster.
Game on.
Well, that might change, because the likes of Adrian Lewis and Joe Cullen are in the ascendancy.
121.
Mind you, he's matched both of them today, hasn't he? Keeping that distance so far.
100.
Well, it just looks so good when Ricky Evans flies in a maximum, because you kind of can't believe how it's humanly possible to do it that quick.
It's so quick, it's very difficult to time
60.
as well. I keep meaning to just see if I can clock how fast Ricky Evans can throw a 180. I mean, there is a... Oh, the stats are out
60.
there, but
Yeah,
it is so quick fire. And I mean, I know for once, I know I've questioned Ricky Evans and whether he needs just to slow it up sometimes when it doesn't work out for him, but when it does work, it clearly is a very, very effective weapon for him. Ton 40 here. Let's see how quickly he can throw this.
Oh, all around the board.
Absolutely superb.
Well, you said if it works for him, it works for him. And it certainly worked there. Wonderful stuff from Ricky Evans. And now Gurney's getting in on the act. He did miss the double for a 9-darter on the live streamed Pro Tour event a couple of years ago, Evans. And it would have surely been the fastest 9-dart finish ever. I know the boys in the Sky Sports studio mocked one up at the World Championship just for entertainment.
57.
But it'd be great to see it really happen.
Well, that was an absolute blitz of a 140 checkout for Ricky Evans.
Well, the fact that he switched down to the treble 16 at exactly the same pace he would have carried on throwing at the treble 20.
It was seamless, absolutely seamless transition, wasn't it?
125.
Blink and you miss it for Ricky Evans.
Finds himself in a
91.
opposite position. And this time yesterday, the hunter now becoming the hunted.
99.
Well, Gurney loves double 16, but bullseye is a smaller target than the trebles, and he could have had a better chance of finishing a leg there and then. However, with Evans back
60.
on 170, it was unlikely he wouldn't return.
He's on the third leg.
And Darryl Gurney gets his first leg on the scoreboard. They have met before, these two, one apiece in the head-to-head standings. Both meetings in the Players' Championship. The first was in 2015. Evans won that 6-4. Gurney levelled up the head-to-head standings at the end of last year by 6 legs to 2. And
140.
oh, there was also a qualifier as well for the Gibraltar Darts Trophy. Thank you very much indeed for that, Chris.
Yeah, 2 ranking meetings,
$134.
and 1 in qualifying, but Gurney doesn't have to bother about those kind of things. In fact, that would have been around one of the last qualifiers he would have played in.
140.
I'm trying to think, when he got to the final in Venray, was he a qualifier for that? That was at the start of 2016, wasn't it? Anyway.
Yeah, it could have been. That was a tournament which he set the 9-180s record. 9-darter record. No such thing on the European Tour, is there?
140.
But yeah, 9-180s in one match. I think it was a semi-final.
Well, Ricky Evans' biggest payday this year was at the UK Open, where he made the last 32. He picked up £3,500 for his efforts there, but these runs to the quarterfinals have been fairly lucrative on the Pro Tour as well, in the Players' Championship Series.
Ball.
34.
Same equation for Ricky Evans.
81.
Try and keep that advantage. Same target.
Off target as well.
37.
Gurney steps back in, this time for a break of throw. Is he a 7 tops man or is he a 15 double 16 man? That's the latter. 7 tops is of course a very perilous route, just in case he's
yeah, well, it was double 16 that was pivotal in his World Grand Prix win, starting and finishing there. But he's hoisted by his own petard.
Evans re-establishes that cushion of 2 legs. Michael van Gerwen, the world number 1 on the stage next. By the way, Michael van Gerwen has just taken a moment away from the practice board just to nip downstairs and just check on how the Germans are getting on, and I think he took a small amount of delight in seeing they were not beating Sweden. Much of the crew here are German. The PDC European team have a strong contingent of Germany supporters, and they're biting their nails right now.
I'm sure somebody offered in response to MVG's mischief. When do Holland play, Michael?
Yes, well, I acknowledge that in fairness. Not biting the nails anymore. They've won it 2-1. Tony Kroos. Wouldn't you just know it? Anyway, back to the darts.
Well, there is a link there, because Thomas Muller said he wants to go to Ali Pali, didn't he, if Germany win the World Cup? That's how he wants to celebrate. Loves the darts. They all love the darts, and they're loving it here in Denmark.
94.
Yes, certainly a very popular night out for some of the Premier League players who are based in London during the course of the World Championship.
85.
Interesting conversation we could have at some point if we get a match that requires us to provide some entertainment. Let's just see if Gurney's going to produce them here. He's not. Which footballer would certain dart players be?
Right.
Ricky Evans, for example.
Someone quick, pacey.
16.
So that rules out. Well, maybe a Raheem Sterling.
I like it.
Ricky to throw first.
Michael van Gerwen is obviously someone like Ronaldo, totally dominant, best player on the planet. Full of big numbers as well, Ronaldo, isn't he? So I think that'd be MVG.
140.
Very likely he said that. Cristiano Ronaldo of darts.
134.
Whereas Peter Wright would be someone like Matt Letitia, a flamboyant showboater. A lot of nice touches here and there. We digress.
Well, until the point where he picked up a major title last year, we could have had one of those. Could have gone with and never actually won anything as well.
140.
He's won plenty now. Daryl Gurney's looking to win this leg and with it take control of the tie. Doesn't need to mess about the ball this time because he's got 2 darts at double 12.
Rob Cross wouldn't be a player in particular. He'd be Leicester City, i.e., you know, coming up from the second tier and making a big impact almost straight away.
This is pretty quick from you, Rob. I expected you to have some time to go away and maybe tell me tomorrow what you'd come up with, but this is pretty quick. Fair play.
Quicker than Ricky Evans. Maybe not quite.
Well, it's quickly turning around in Daryl Gurney's favour.
It is. Daryl Gurney was 3-1 down here, 3 apiece now, and he starts off with a ton 80. We've had an abundance of 6 perfect darts, 7 perfect darts throughout the course of the day today, but 3 is the extent of it there for Daryl.
Well, you might be better off not doing it, because Michael Smith and Cristo Reyes both hit back-to-back 180s in a couple of, well, both on a 9-darter in a couple of legs, and both lost. If you want to win titles this weekend, don't hit
Back-to-back 180s at the start of legs. It just does nothing but damage.
100.
Should be said that the Bully Boy squandered 2 darts to win the match against Adrian Lewis.
57. Area 121.
Simon Whitlock awaits the winner of this one, just to fill you in as far as the draw and how that is shaping up for the final day tomorrow.
Yeah, mentioned this afternoon as Evans fighting a maximum. That makes it interesting here.
Yeah, Gurney was in a really good place just a few seconds ago, and now all of a sudden he's under a huge amount of pressure. 56 away now. So tops for Gurney, and he could do with this. And he's miles away. He is miles away. And Evans, double 12 for a break of throw.
That was defender shooting, wasn't it? And now Ricky Evans just needs to defend his throw all the way to the end once again, and will earn himself a decent scalp here. Just going back to Simon Whitlock, we were talking about it in the afternoon. If you missed the afternoon session, Simon Whitlock beat Jermaine Watermena, who had hammered him twice last weekend, 6-0 and 6-1 on consecutive days in Wigan. Now Whitlock served up the revenge, and we said then it's going to be another grudge match, whoever he gets, because Ricky Evans knocked him out of the first round of the World Championship a couple of years ago, and Daryl Gurney beat him in the World Grand Prix final last year as he hunted down his second major title.
100.
And Simon Whitlock, will he go all the way to the title by virtue of a chip on his shoulder?
58.
Good stuff this from Ricky Evans. There you see, 101 and a half.
140.
Daryl Gurney approaching 100.
Yeah, and he can say that he is bringing that form from the Pro Tour, those quarter-final appearances recently. That, I think, is having a big, making a big impression today, and it's clearly given him something to, well, it's given him a platform on which to build for this weekend. And Evans
137.
could well be the man to produce a rare upset in the evening session. By and large, it's been a good day for the seeded players. Michael Smith losing to Adrian Lewis, the only seed to fall by the wayside this evening.
Yeah, but not one that you'd call an upset, is it?
But not one you'd call an upset, no.
Double 12, edging ever closer.
No score.
Well, that one
is further away.
Ricky require 51.
So Evans for a hold of throw and to move to within one of a place in the final day. And Ricky Evans leads by 5 legs to 3. And Gurney needs to dig himself out of a hole here.
Exact same position that Rob Cross was in half an hour ago. Exact same position that Mervyn King was in
29.
an hour and a half ago.
But Rob Cross did not start off with 29 in the 9th leg.
96.
That's potentially the crucial difference.
And he was the biggest 180 hitter in the Premier League on his debut, Daryl Gurney. He's going to have to, you feel, pile in a big one in this leg.
100.
Otherwise, it will be a rapid exit from the Danish Darts Open.
Well, he only won one match in Gibraltar, lost to Steve West in the 3rd round. Daryl Gurney, 2nd round defeats at the European Darts Grand Prix against Jamie Lewis and against Ron Moulenkamp at the European Darts Open, and potentially facing up to another first hurdle departure here as well. And there'd be no ranking money on the European Tour Order of Merit, or indeed the Pro Tour Order of Merit, because it doesn't count. You get the money, but you don't get the points on the board
130
if you're a seeded player and you lose at this stage.
Evans has left himself a check out, so he will return with 3 darts in hand to knock out the world number 5, Daryl Gurney.
100. Ricky require 128.
Treble 20. Doesn't get a dart at the ball.
88.
Hits the ball to leave himself handy instead.
But great measure. Well, Daryl Gurney, this has to go. Tops for Gurney to save his skin for the time being, and it's not there.
Ricky requires 40.
And Ricky Evans.
Double 10. And it's good Evans, rapid Ricky, sends Daryl Gurney packing, the highest seeded scout of the Danish Darts Open. He's the world number 5, the number 5 seed, the World Grand Prix champion, head home, falling at the first hurdle. Super stuff from Ricky Evans. A fantastic display, just under the 100 average in the end, but he goes through to take on Simon Whitlock in the last 16 tomorrow. We've got 2 matches left, Ian White against Steve West, but coming up next, a standout tie between Van Gerwen and Taylor. Stay tuned. Let's hear from Ricky Evans first though, talking to our man Dan Dawson after seeing off Daryl Gurney.
Ricky, congratulations, Ricky. You've just beaten a major champion. You're in the final day of a European Tour event.
Who'd have thought it? It's took about 6 years, but yeah, I want to be what Daryl is. No, I want to be where he is right now. Premier League, top 5 or top 6 in the world, whatever he is. I want to be Daryl. He's one of the best players in the world by a mile, and he missed so many doubles, but I took him, so I'm so happy. Yeah.
We've seen a few days this year where you've turned up and you've carved your way through the field. It's been 100 average, 100 average, 100 average, and you've been threatening to go and claim a first title. You get one of those days tomorrow, it could happen.
Well, I can't lose today, can I? So, yeah, don't worry about the final. I'm just going to worry about my next game now. And yeah, if I hit my doubles, I can beat anybody. I've done it all my career. Just I lose to silly people. One silly game, I'm out. And yeah, I've rode my luck twice now. So, who's that?
What would it mean to you to win your game tomorrow afternoon and find yourself in the final session of one of these events in front of 2,500 fans?
To me, just being here is amazing because like so many amazing, like the crowd. I've never had support like that in my life. Honestly, brilliant. Everyone was like, "Oh, come on, Ricky," and I get goosebumps just looking at it. And
there'll be more goosebumps tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I just say, good luck, get well soon to John. You know.
John Archer, yeah, get well soon to John Archer. I'm sure this will make him feel a lot better. Rapid Ricky Evans, the fastest thrower in the world, through to the final day of a European Tour event for the first time in his career.